Let's check it out. The Ice Palace. Look at this picture. Nearby?
Over at H.A.W, which is between here and Vale.
Uh-huh.
Let's see.
Boy, I like this woodwork.
Oh yeah, I love the woodwork myself. Or is there even a tag sitting there?
What they do, build a new library?
Yes. Yeah. This served as a public library until 1970. From 1904. And they built a new one and moved over there. We got.
Check out their snowsuits there. White skis.
You have a power surge, it looks like. I figure it's more.
It sounds about right. It just.
Wow, look how long those skis are. Camp Hale. Alright, Camp Hale was located between Leadville and Vale. Look at that. Right ski hook. Wow, look at this old U.S. Mill. It's a H.A.W washer that's electric. Look at the J.C. Penney sign. This is the assay office, okay? The most important place in a mining town. I guess it told you what you were, where the ore was worth pursuing. Look at the potbelly stove with a coffee pot on it there. Look at these old radiators. This was a Carnegie library, he said, built sometime in the 70s. It's made out of elkhorn. Man, these things are huge. Look how big around they are. All right, we got a, I don't know what this is, church bench. We got a, what do they call those things, press board. Look at this sliding door here. What's that about? I guess you could open it up. All right, the Ice Palace. Man, would you look at that? It's pretty elaborate, isn't it? 1896. That's when it melted. All right, here's a holler, original wood water line section. They would holler a log out, put the wiring around it. Oh, look at these sleds here. And beer bottles. I bet you they drank a little bit of beer here over the years. Carbonate American National Bank. Uses of molybdenum. Molybdenum. That's a hard one to pronounce. Strengthens metal, use of lubricants, added fertilizer, Used as a paint base, serves as a catalyst in the refinement of crude oil. It's miner's medley. What is this? This is long handles. All right. Belly up to the bar, boys. And there's I can't see it too good. There's a couple of musicians here. Look at how big that doll is. All right, woodsman of the world. More beer bottles. There's a derby. And look at the foot warmer. And the fur. Is it a raccoon fur?
I heard about this when I was reading about this years ago. This must have been
And look at
amazing
this.
of him to have had this up here.
Wow, yeah.
Look at this bellows. All right, here we got a mandolin here. That's the tater bug. And this is a jeweler's gem. Handcrafted, elaborate clock. While at Elgin Watch Company in Illinois. Man, would you look at the woodwork, scrolling. Camp H.A.W. Man, they probably put that thing up in 3 months. All right, Camp H.A.W. high in the Rockies near Leadville, Colorado, was the cradle of one of the nation's most unusual fighting units, the 10th Mountain Division, which is still in the Army. In fact, they fought in Afghanistan. But I think they're based in New York now. Soldiers of the Summit. And they had snowshoes, skis, long skis too. Look at the front pictures of this guy. All right, the Leadville story starts here. 1860. H.A.W. And what's this right here? I guess it's the vault. All right. 1874, William Stevens and his partner Alvin S. B. Wood organized the Oro Mining Ditch and Flumen Company to rework the diggings in the California Gulch. It's a hydraulic flume, which is god-awful to the environment. So you have to just blast the...
What else should I see in town for?
It's sort of placer mining. It's a version of placer mining. Cut down all the trees. All right. They had a momentous discovery, so they started searching the ore, source of the ore. In the spring of 1877, a small settlement called Slab Town began to spring up near Oro City. H.A.W. Tabor, who'd been a storekeeper and postmaster in Oro City, was elected the first mayor of Leadville. There's the Tabor Opera House. All right, August R. Meyer.
Can take pictures, right?
As long as there's no flash.
Okay, good, thanks.
All right, April 4th, 1878, a man named George Fry discovered a large deposit of silver ore on a hill east of town. And he's pretty happy about that, it looks like. Friar Hill became the richest piece of real estate in the world within a few months. On April 15th, 1878, two poor German shoemakers who had tried prospecting, Auguste Richer and George Hook, entered Table's store and overseer and asked him for a grub stake. Richer and Hook kept digging in Friar Hill and acquired a 10-foot depth. Struck carbonate ore. News of the rich silver discoveries in Leadville spread like wildfire. Newspapers headlined the story and the telegraph lines sizzled with excitement. The great silver boom had begun. In most mines, a vein of good 3-4 foot thick expected to yield a fortune. One worth 50 ounces of silver to the ton would certainly make a person rich. But the mines in Friar Hill had ore bodies that were 20 to 30 feet thick, and they carried 100 to 1,000 ounces of silver per ton. Oh, wow. Hold it there, partner. When Friar Hill became famous for having the richest silver deposits in the world, everyone wanted on a chance to make a fortune. The Denver wholesale house where H.A.W. was buying his provision commissioned him to buy a promising claim on Friar Hill for them. Chicken Bill tricked Tabor. Oh, Chicken Bill Lovell. He's a scandal, is he? Chicken Bill had sunk a discovery shaft to claim called the Crystallite. When he'd get tired of digging, he'd simply drop some stolen high-grade ore down the shaft to make the mine seem like $1 million prospect. Lovell sold Tabor the worthless hole for 40 grand. Wow, what a huckster. All right, gold, gold, silver. The Leadville silver mines prospered and captured the nation's fancy. Thousands of fortune hunters began to swarm into the valley. Leadville started as a small settlement high in the mountains. It only had a saloon, a couple stores, a small smelter, and some shanties. Man, look at this. These guys are sleeping in a room on the floor. There was not enough food or shelter to accommodate thousands of people. The dirt streets were always either dusty, muddy, icy, or snowy, depending on the season. And these guys, are they sleeping outside? No, they're inside, aren't they? Paid to sleep on a sawdust-covered floor in a saloon. Hundreds of tents, log shanties, board shacks sprang up. Dozens of new buildings began to line Leadville's main street. All right, the streets were crowded with pedestrians, oil wagons, and mule teams, carriages, saddle horses, packed barrel trains, and the delivery vans. The noise was incessant. The mountains and valleys were swarming with prospectors. Ooh, this guy found something. A little high-grade ore, 80 feet thick, located a little chief mine. And what is this? Silver seemed to be poured out of the ground. More smelters were built and operated day and night. Charcoal was used as a fluxing agent until coke producing coal could later be brought into town by train. By 1885, 2,500 men were employed in the charcoal production, which involved cutting native trees and heating them in a cone-shaped kilns until they were nearly pure carbon. The valley was flooded with speculators, and mining property began to change hands all over Friar Hill. George Hook sold his 1/3 interest in Little Pittsburgh to his partners for $98,000. Ooh, man, that's a lot of money, huh?
I can imagine
While the wealth of Little Pittsburgh produced Roland N. Tabor and his associates, Crystal Lake Mine began to buy up all other productive land. In 1889, after millions of dollars in dividends were paid out to stockholders, the entire company was sold to George Roberts and others for $2,778,000. Chicken Bill sought to claim had made Tabor millions of dollars, yet Tabor soon sold too cheaply. The new owners uncovered ore reserves estimated at $7 million. Oh, wow. Boarding houses, hotels, theaters. There's always a housing shortage in Leadville. More residential streets were added. Mining operations had developed so rapidly there was not enough smelters to process it all. Wow. A boom town, sure enough. That's why they have the Booming Festival. Every restaurant was packed with hungry customers, lawyers, surgeons, dentists, doctors flocked to Leadville, open offices. Anyone with enough money to buy a pick and a shovel or grub stake was a prospector. Leadville Gambling Saloon, all right. Gambling saloons multiplied and prospered. The City Railroad Company. Leadville was booming. Speculators were willing to pay almost any price for mining claims in a good location. Real estate values soared. Mines that sold for a few $1,000s in 1877 now commanded millions. Town lots were available for $25 in the spring, bought for $5,000 in the summer. Whoa. That sounds like a bubble in the making there, huh? Was this a church service? In the early days, independent prospectors and miners used their materials from the land, their intuition and ingenuity, and their manual skills to perform their tasks to make a living. Later, contract mining or employment by wealthy mine owners enabled men to support their families. However, miners worked long hours in dark for paltry pay and were subjected to dangerous and deplorable conditions underground. Many died young of silicosis or were killed in tragic mining accidents. Many women died in childbirth, and the infant mortality rate was high. Widows remarried, as did widowers, and took boarders in to help provide for the children.
Yeah, but a lot of women during that period of time were not your average woman.
But maybe
All right, the first city marshal got ran out of town.
Yeah, she was. She was like beautiful.
Got to be lawless, so gambling halls, saloons, variety theaters, houses of ill repute. Yeah.
They were the only ones out here.
Almost powerful mine owners began to hire small armies to protect their properties.
Yeah, they were. Hey, you pick up
Claim jumpers and squatters were everywhere in the mining district. Leadville was part of Kansas territory until 1861, when Colorado became a territory. William Stevens said that out of the first $11 million he earned from his Iron Hill silver mine, he spent $9 million in litigation trying to maintain his ownership. Well, he should have been a lawyer then, huh? By 1880, Leadville had become the world's greatest silver camps, producing $15 million worth of minerals a year. Well, look at that saddle. In 2 years, Leadville progressed from crude mining camp to 200 in Colorado to the second largest city in Colorado. Two of Leadville's productive mines, Robert E. Lee and the Little Pittsburgh, had a contest to determine which one would produce the most silver in a 24-hour period. Both mines worked 3 shifts, no man stopped for longer than 10 minutes for food or drink. Wow. It was a marathon. Robert E. Lee won the competition by producing $118,000 worth of silver in 24-hour period at the cost of less than $300. Wow. All right. 28 miles of streets, 13 schools, a regular city. From 1881 to 1886, law and order triumphed over chaos. Man, look at them smelters. The Emmett Mine. The governor had to call out the Colorado State Militia to keep the peace. Stock swindles, bank failures, and mining disasters were rampant. And worst of all was the repeal of the Sherman Silver Purchase Act in 1893. Now, what was that all about? The government had been on the bimetallic standard, gold and silver, but Congress voted to end the federal purchase of coinage of silver in 1893. This caused the price of silver to fall to 60 cents an ounce. Well, it's $30 now. Leadville's economy was dependent on the production of silver, and prices were suddenly so low that the mines could not afford to operate. The resulting mine closures idled 90% of Leadville's workforce. Wow. The situation seemed hopeless. Rich mines, several mines were closed at the height of productivity, and people were ruined financially, including the Tabors. Leadville's great mining industry would be crippled if more gold and other value couldn't be mined. All right, that's when lead came to the rescue, wasn't it? The economic circumstances were desperate and risks were great. All right. In addition to gold, the lead, iron, and manganese, and copper were extracted. And the deepening of the Little Johnny proved one of the most difficult mining operations carried out. One of the Wolf-Tone Mine, Leadville, one of the largest zinc mines. Gold was discovered at Little Johnny. Leadville's mineral production continued to thrive. In 1918, a large molybdenum mine deposit with reserves was discovered in the Cotton Divide at Fremont Pass. Molybdenum. It has produced, Lake County has produced more than $1 billion worth of minerals to date. On newspapers. They had some great illustrators.
Those books in the, underneath, you can pull those out and take a look at them too.
Oh, okay. Man, these are great pictures. That was the photographs of that era. I think they were wood carvings. Drill bits. Excuse me. Denver, Colorado, and band organized in 1888. Man, look at those cool uniforms. Oh, this is brass. Man, look at all the trumpets, trombones. Hey, we got the Victorian style houses there. The old telephone, the wood stove. Man, look at that thing. Isn't that nice? Look at that rocking chair. Brass bed. Look how they got the radiators up high. We have an organ, a pump organ. We have the square grand piano. What do they call it? The cycloid. First to the rounded cycloid shape of the sides and back. The cabinet is said to be solid, made of Brazilian rosewood, which is worth a fortune now. The old Singer sewing machine with the wood oak cabinet.